morning.
I'll start with the word challenges. Challenges is a word that is a part of every rural community. Now, from the time we go to sleep at night, we're thinking of challenges. We wake up, challenges. And that is something that is a part of our rural communities. It is a challenge to keep our public areas clean. It is a challenge to get our infrastructure going. It is a challenge to get our community to grow. It is a challenge to satisfy everyone in the community. When we do a good for one sector, the other sector sees it as wrong. And imagine, we are in a modern society where we have a government of beliefs to back us up. Although many a times we, the rural communities, feel that city councils, town councils get the best of everything and we are shoved to the bottom of the barrel. But this is our modern challenges. It was no different in the time of the Yalbac, San Jose Yalbac. The then leader, Maximo, was a great leader because his challenges were similar to ours, but yet in a different way. And we may see a greater. He had no government of beliefs to lean on. He had no Google to go and see what can I do, how can I develop this, and go to Google and the answer is there. His challenges were different, yet he survived. And this is proof that our Indian ancestry is strong, because we are still here. And these people might not have had formal education, but they were wise. They had etiquette, they had moral values. It was a time in history when we did not need to sit in front of a liar and sign paper after paper to get things done. It was a time of gentleman's agreement. It was a time when the colonial powers looked at our Indians as just Indians. They were just Indians. They were people they could step on, they were people they could move out of the way, and they tried. They tried. The struggle was a continuous and a great one. And today, we're here to honor the life of Maximo Perez, the last alcalde of Yalbac, the first alcalde of Palmar. Today we see a beautiful Palmar. We enjoy of a village that is just a heartbeat away from the town. We enjoy rural living. We enjoy the peacefulness of living in a village. Yet we have modern facilities and we enjoy the same thing people in the town would be enjoying. Many look around at Palmar as a jewel. Everybody, my friends in town are like, where can I buy a land? I want to come to Palmar. This is all the effect, the result of the hard work that Maximo and his people put in. It wasn't an easy struggle. It's not easy to leave your home behind and know that it will be burned. It's not easy to abandon an area where you have fought to clean that street, you have fought to clean that public area, and it stays behind. And they're not taking you to a luxury hotel. You don't know where you're going. It was a time in which some stood with Maximo, others decided to move away. But as a leader, he did not falter. He stayed there firm. It was a time in which it was an impossible venture for an alcalde of an Indian community to fight the colonial powers. But he did the best. He moved with his people, and they did not roll over and die. They fought. And they moved around until they ended up with reaching here at Palmar. And Palmar was only a bush. How discouraging it must have been to reach at an area which will be your home, and there's no building, there's no street, there's no electricity, no potable water. You had to build everything from scratch. And this was the person Maximo was. He was a leader with a vision. Today in our community we have lawyers, we have teachers, we have policemen, we have builders, we have retail businessmen, we have wholesale businessmen, we have a lot of people educated everywhere in the world that you could think about. Someone from Palmar has been there and has gotten renowned for their abilities. And where did this come from? This came from our Indians, came from Maximo, came from the people that stood with him. So today is a great celebration, and I feel privileged to have been invited as the present chairman of the village to be a part of this. In the days of Maximo, being the chairperson, the alcalde, was an inherited right. Times have changed, that we have moved along to elected chairpersons and leaders. And that is how I, a non-descendant, at present am a chairperson, but I am honored to be invited. I want to thank you all, thank the family of Maximo for inviting me. And I must say that I was born and grown in beautiful Palmar, and my heart is here. And the struggles these people have, the love they had for this community is the same love I have for it. So I could identify with them. And as a leader, I could identify with the struggles he had. And my struggles are little when it is compared to the struggles Maximo had. I don't know what I would have done as a leader if they would tell me right now, you have to move your people from Palmar and relocate. So we must honor Maximo. And today is a great opportunity where we realize that the great African proverb that says, it takes a village to raise a child, comes into play. That village of back then made the children they had raised up. Those children became parents, and they rose up their own group, and they arrived here today. And that shows that we are strong. We are still here. We are still here. We're still standing. And it is all because of what started way back in the San Jose Yalbac. That was a flourishing community that was trampled upon. Probably they were bigger than what Palmar is today. But these leaders, with Maximo at the front, they had a plan. They had a vision. They knew where they want to be. They didn't know how they're going to get there. Like I said, there was no Google, there was no blueprint to follow, but they knew where they want to be, and they fought, and they keep on fighting. The families of this great generation keeps on fighting. And today, we have the opportunity to go back and relive what happened at Yalbac. And this is only a little bit of the history documented in this book, written and brought to us through the eyes of the author, Miss Carmen Carrillo, who is a renowned educator around the entire country. And through her eyes, we could relive the steps taken, how the struggles began, what they suffered, where they moved to, and how they arrived here. Through her eyes, we could relive this. And it takes the mastery of words and the mastery of a pen to create this. Maximo, a book written in a way that a 6-year-old could understand the story. Written in a simple format, but with a big message. Big enough to make an adult relive the reality of these struggles. And this is only the beginning, because our history is rich. The history of the people of Palmar is a rich history. It will take volumes and volumes and volumes to cover all of this history. But we want to applaud Ija Carrillo for taking that bold move to write a book. And I already heard she's writing another one, and I can't wait to hear about it. To document these things, so that people could understand where we came from, so that we know where we want to be. Right, so with that in mind, I want to thank Ija Carmen. I want to thank her team that was behind her, because she had her friends assisting her in getting it done the right way. So today I want to thank you, and I want to welcome you to Palmar. Our invited guests, Ms. Yaser Musa, Carlos Quiroz, Delmar Zib, Melissa Itzpat, Andy Chok, Armando Cholin, and Yolanda Gongorang, and our local invited guests. It's a pity we cannot have the whole village out, but the COVID protocols limits our crowd that we could have. But I want to thank the invited guests for being here. And I want to thank everyone who has been a part of this, whether it's a small contribution, a big contribution. Every contribution is good. So I want to welcome you. And I want to thank you all for being here. And I want to big up Teacher Carmen for this initiative. And we should always remember Maximo and try to be a little bit more like him. He was a man with vision. He was a man of etiquette. He was someone who did not roll over and die when adversity struck. And that is an example we could all have as village leaders, as leaders in your home, Each one of us has a leader in us. So today, let's celebrate Maximo. And let's remember how we got here. Let's remember who we are. And let's remember how far we could get. So with that, I leave you. And thank you very much for coming out. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to beautiful Palmar.